We appreciate you being here, since this program is optional and discusses best practices for your consideration. If you were thinking of adopting any of them, please make sure to review the requirements in your area/region with your broker, branch manager, or manager, including those related to contacting consumers. We do want to highlight the importance of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, better known as TCPA. The general rules are that it's okay to call people if the person recently gave you their phone number, but remember to check the DNC list regularly if they haven't spoken to that person in a while. You will also want to check the DNC list anytime you don't have permission. Automated calling/texting platforms should never be used. Pre-recorded messages and artificial voices should never be used. You will be personally liable for any violations of the TCPA. We'll mention the TCPA a few times throughout this presentation.
To access some of the resources available for Design Concierge, you can start at mycbdesk.com and scroll down to the Design Concierge tile. On the tile, you'll see at the bottom 2 links in blue. One of them is Portfolio and the other one is the Help Center. We're going to start with reviewing the portfolio, so we'll click on that word down here. This will open up a new window with the portfolio for Design Concierge. This is especially helpful when you're first starting a project and you maybe want some inspiration on other people's work, or you want to see some ideas from what other people have done. It's also a great resource if you're just curious of the kind of projects Design Concierge can do and maybe purchasing the right project for you. So from here, you can just scroll down and see some of the featured works like this, or at the top right, you can click products and you can actually search by product. So if you're thinking of looking at logos, business cards, social media, professional bios, brochures, postcards, there's a lot of different options in here for all of the projects that Design Concierge offers. If you click on some of these, you can look at the different types of projects in here, and again, just ideas of what you could do in a project or what Design Concierge has done in the past. If you decide you really like some of these or some aspects of these, you could always save the design and share that with your Design Concierge coordinator when you start a project. That way they have some reference points of maybe things that you like or don't like within other projects and what you're looking for. If we go back to my CB deck, the other link here is Help Center. So if you click on Help Center here, it'll open a web page for Help Center on desk. From here, we'll start with looking at the portfolio. So the second link right here, that's the one we just accessed. So if you wanted to see it a different way, you can do so through that link in the Help Center. If we go back to Help Center, you can also see on here our glossary. So that's right here. This is especially helpful if you never have worked with design before, or maybe you have minimal knowledge of design and some of the terms that are used in it, especially if you're working with a maybe third party who's printing or advertising this design for you, and maybe they're giving you specs or dimensions or some things that they need from the project. This is a great way for you to know what they're talking about and maybe relay that to the Design Concierge team. Or if you're working on a project with Design Concierge and you don't like the way some things are laid out or designed, this is a good way to be able to communicate with the team exactly what you want changed. Sometimes we know what we want, but it's harder to put it in writing back to the design team. So some of these terms really help. If you're asking, what some of these marks are, or if you want a different kind of font, just some of these terms can be helpful in communicating different changes you want or what you're looking for in your project. We'll go back to the Help Center here. And we'll see over here, Design Concierge Service Level Agreement. If you click on that and open that attachment, you'll see the full document here. Everything that the service level agreement includes is here in the content, but we'll go through a few of the main sections, or maybe the most helpful for you. One of them could be products and pricing, so the different products that we have and the pricing associated with them. We can also go back to the top here. We could look at workflows and turnaround times. So specifically, if you click on here, these are the 1-day proof turnaround times. So what projects that applies to, and then kind of a little timeline here, flow of what that would look like. There's also some other options here. 4-day proof turnarounds, the projects that applies to, 8-day proof turnarounds, and the projects that apply to. Just a good way for you to be setting the expectation of how long your project might take, especially if you are advertising or you need this on a deadline. Just a good idea to review these to make sure you get started in time. We'll go back to the top of this and we'll just get down here to the end here, support and resources. If you want to click on questions here, it'll pull up the support information for Design Concierge. So if you want their toll-free support line, these are the hours that they're open. That's the phone number listed there. And then there's also the email, the chat option here, and maybe any other documents and links you might need at the bottom here that you could use before starting a project.